Hello, everybody. Back for another tarot reading. So, we know how this goes. If you've seen the other videos, I'm going to be reading the tarot cards. 3 cards for the week that has passed, the previous week, and 3 cards for the future week in which we're going to be in. So, remember, pick a number 1, 2, or 3. And this is going to be the first reading for the past. All right. So the first one, if you chose number 1, oh, you get a good card. It says business or success in business. We have a 3. So number 3 has to do with creation. So this is a card basically in which something happened in the week. It went well for you. There was success in business. So success in business has to do obviously with monetary gains. It could have been a gain also on the maybe social end of things, or maybe even on the emotional side of things. Since it is cups, it does deal with emotion, but it could also be something merely that was emotional, right? So this happened because maybe there was a problem, or there was a challenge or an obstacle that you needed to face on the emotional end of things in regards to a project, because business could also be interpreted as something that you want to accomplish, like a goal or a project that you undertake. So this means that you were successful, so congratulations. And it was also due to the emotional end of things. So if you were focusing more on the mental rationale, or maybe even monetary aspect of things, this didn't really help that, but it did help on the emotional end. So now we can say you feel a little bit better. It's a 3, so it's not that intense, and it does deal with creativity, emotional creativity. So I think ultimately what you are experiencing from this past week has to do with feeling good emotionally, and also knowing kind of where to go from here, right? Because it deals with creativity. Creativity deals with the future at the same time. Okay, if you chose a 2, let's see, protection. So this is a major arcana, and a major arcana deals with situations that are out of your hands. So it could deal with universal destiny, or even other people related things. There's protection, so something protected you definitely, and it is backwards. So this is a good sign, because it means that something was going on in your life, some type of turmoil, some type of disaster, some type of inevitable disaster, or inevitable hardship, and maybe it's still going on, but something is protecting you. Something was sent. And like I said, this could either be in terms of, like, I don't know, if you're having money problems, all of a sudden you get a loan, or all of a sudden you get money from someone, right? Or if you're going through a hard situation or through a hard moment, you have people that are there for you. You have friends that are protecting you. Or maybe just on the psychological or emotional end, if you were going through some difficulty, all of a sudden you started getting like insights, and the solutions to your problems, and it kind of came out of nowhere, right? You didn't do anything to be protected. But this card reminds me kind of like when you're a kid and you're in trouble, or you're in danger, and your parents arrive to kind of rescue you and save you and protect you, right? It's the protection from the exterior, right? You don't really do anything to get this protection. It just kind of comes. And I guess it came in a good moment. Good business, good deal there. All right, and the third one, let's see if you chose number 3. We have lost, basically extravíos in Spanish, which is mental. We have a 3 also, so we have creativity here. So this for me is this has to do with basically trying to be creative. And when you're trying to be creative, you can get lost in that at the same time. So it's a mental process. It's a mental situation here, the one we're dealing with. It doesn't have anything to do with like money or anything like that. But you are in a triangle. You are in a creative process mentally. But what this points to, or what this indicates, is that recently you have become lost. We can even say like stagnant. So you are in a situation, or you were in a situation this past week, where whatever you were doing mentally or thinking about doing, maybe like on a project or with friends or in a situation with your significant other or even for yourself, you've kind of come to a dead end, right? So what I recommend here is that you kind of stop trying to go ahead and trying to advance and make progress the way you were doing, because it's not going to work. um, and maybe even step a little bit away from the creativity, because that's also not going to work, right? You need to do some introspection, maybe make a U-turn and get out of that end. um, and it could help for you to pick up on other aspects of other dimensions, like the emotional dimension or the spiritual dimension or the physical dimension, not so much the mental, right? Because it seems here like the mental has already been exhausted, right? So you need to stop thinking and maybe just feel your intuition or do things, right, that will kind of get you out of this obstacle position in which you're currently placed. It is a lower arcana, so it is up to you. It's not something that is out of your hands, so you can fix this, or if it already happened, this is the reason why it happened. Okay, now we're gonna read the three for the future. So think of a number, one, two, or three. I'm gonna read the first one. Okay. So, fortune and dignity. This is a major arcana, so this is a good situation. It's not in your control, so this could be due to things that maybe you have been working on, and it's a good card, because now you're going to see things come to fruition, right? It could be either because of the hard work, or it could just be because it's fortune and dignity. So, fortune has to do with luck. You're gonna get lucky this upcoming week, and this luck could be coming from a situation, like I said, that you have been working on, or it could just be coming in from out of nowhere, kind of like winning the lottery. This could mean that if you've been looking for a partner, you're gonna find that partner or someone that could potentially become a future partner. If you've been working on a business, it's going to start, things are going to start looking up. If you want something, if you've been wanting to buy something you either want or need, you're going to start looking into that. And this is going to come from external forces, right? Like maybe your parents, your friends. Even if you've been looking for support, right, you're going to find the right type of support. And it's dignity. So whatever this is that's coming up, it is not going to basically, you're not going to have to sell your soul to the devil, sort of say, right? You're going to keep your dignity intact, so you're going to be able to feel like mighty and strong, while you're also feeling lucky, which is this is a really great card. And for the future, for the week that's coming up, things are going to be looking pretty good on the aspect of, I can't really say if it's emotional, mental, spiritual, or physical, but I would say it is all of those, right? So it's a pretty good card. All right, if you chose number two, here we go. Change. The cups backwards, we get a number one. So one has to do, as we know, with the beginning, right? And it's kind of like in the morology, where it's like 9 10 1, right? Or 1 10 9. One is the first, right? So this is a weird card to get on the emotional front, because now you're going to be looking at change, right? So you're right in that process of finishing something and starting something, right? And in this week, what's this is going to affect you more on the emotional front, like I just mentioned. The intensity is not that much, or it could be all of the intensity because it's a one, but you're going to be going through changes. Now, these type of changes, I think, are good. You're going to be able to oversee the necessities, or whatever needs covering in the future. And more than anything, because it's emotional. So if you focus on the emotional side of things, you're going to be all right in this case. My recommendation for this is just be careful, because this could go sideways very quickly. And since it is backwards, it does have that potential for you to go astray and basically feel like really bad emotionally. It's not going to affect you in any other dimension. So the changes that you could be facing, even if they do deal with physical things or reality things, in terms of like physical or tangible or monetary changes or financial changes or spiritual or mental changes. They're gonna affect only your emotional dimension, right? Um, but yeah, I think it's a good card. It's in your control because it's a minor arcana, so I think you should be all right. And it is a new beginning also because it talks about unity. So in this case, change will be represented or manifested as a one. So you will feel complete as a whole, right? Maybe it's the next level in the integration of the spiral, right? Where like you finish a level kind of like in a video game and now you're going to the next level. You're kind of going to go through the same thing but at a much difficult level, right? So you're able to learn and keep growing. All right. And the third one, if you chose number 3 for the future week, it's Blonde Woman. Okay, I feel like I like these cards. I've already read them, so sorry if that already happened. But there is a reason why this happens too when you're reading the tarot. So it could be that and this makes sense because I just spoke about going through the same things but in different levels. So if you saw my video last week and you're seeing this one, things are connected, and basically we could be talking about going through cycles along the weeks, right, where you're reliving the same thing but you're reliving it at a much difficult level. So the Blonde Woman, it's a 13. It's a combination of 1 and 3, so creativity and unity. Those are good things, and she has the cups. But again, we're talking about highly emotional things, and now if we look at the cards in general, we can see that there have been 3 cups, right? And the cups deal, we had 2 major arcanas and 1 swords. So it is, and the last 2 or 2 of those 3 cups or emotional cards have been in the future, right? So towards the future, we are going to be facing a lot of emotion, and this could be disruptive because just like anything, if it's a excess of mental, spiritual, or physical, it does become tiresome to be living so much emotion, right? But this week, it's inevitable. Maybe you have something to learn from this. The Blonde Woman ultimately means, a woman means that part of, or that dimension of chaos, right, of potential. And blonde means prosperity, wealth, right? Good things like that which is gold, right? But we have to remember also not everything that shines is gold, right? And this card, if you chose number 3, I feel like this is more of a warning that you should be careful, that you should basically, like, whatever you need to do on the emotional front, you should just get to it. If you need to talk to that person, just talk to that person. If you need to face that demon, just face that demon already, face the music. Because I feel, I sense a repetition here, right? Like there's repetition. This is what my intuition is telling me, especially by reading these cards again. And I do shuffle them, so there's a reason why this is happening. So it could be that you're stuck there because you feel like that's gold, right? That you feel like that which is shiny in that moment emotionally is filling you up, you know, like the cup, and is making you feel good. But in reality, you're just repeating the same thing over and over again. So I would say that there is access in this case to the potential, to the raw potential, which is the woman, the chaos. And maybe you're trying to avoid that, right? But I say just dive right into that, face your demons, and kind of get past this level because, like I mentioned, it is kind of becoming repetitive. So yeah, let me know what you think about this reading. If you have any questions or anything on it, let me know, and let me know if you want me to tell you about any type of relationship advice among zodiac signs, like I don't know, what is the compatibility between a Leo and an Aries, or you know, and if you could be specific about who's the man and who's the woman, that would be better too. So yeah, let me know, and that's all I got for this video, so I'll see you in the next one. All right, peace.